If you've been seeing repeating numbers lately, if you felt a presence around you that you can't quite explain, if your heart has been whispering something that your mind hasn't been able to understand, then you need to hear what heaven has been trying to tell you. Right now, in this very moment, there's a divine orchestration happening in your life that is so much bigger than what your eyes can see. The angels have been working tirelessly behind the veil, and God has been speaking to someone's heart about you. Not just anyone. The one whose soul recognizes yours. The one whose heart has been prepared to offer you the most sacred commitment that exists between two human beings. But here's what heaven wants you to know. This isn't just about a proposal. This isn't just about a ring or a moment on one knee. What's coming is so much deeper, so much more profound, and so beautifully orchestrated by divine hands that when it finally unfolds, you'll realize every tear you cried, every prayer you whispered, every moment you doubted was actually leading you to this sacred intersection where human love meets heavenly blessing. If your soul is stirring right now, if you feel that gentle pull in your chest, stay with me because the message you're about to receive has been written in the stars specifically for you. And before we go any further, I want you to do something for yourself. If this message is already resonating with the deepest part of who you are, tap that subscribe button right now, so you don't miss a single message that heaven wants to deliver to your heart in the coming days. The angels have more to reveal to you, and this is just the beginning. Let me tell you something that might surprise you. Right now, as you're listening to these words, there's someone whose thoughts are consumed with you, not in a fleeting way, not in a casual wondering, but in a deep, soul-stirring way that has been keeping them awake at night. This person has been going through their own spiritual transformation, their own divine preparation. They've been having dreams they can't explain, feeling pulled toward you in ways that transcend logic and reason. Heaven has been speaking to them through signs, through synchronicities, through that unmistakable knowing that settles in the quiet moments when they're alone. They've been seeing your face in their minds during prayer. They've been feeling your energy when they close their eyes. They've been receiving confirmation from the universe that you are the one their soul has been searching for across lifetimes. And here's the miraculous part that God wants you to understand. While they've been going through this awakening, you've been going through your own. You've been healing. You've been growing. You've been shedding old versions of yourself that no longer serve your highest good. You've been learning to love yourself in ways you never did before. You've been discovering your worth, your power, your divine feminine or masculine essence. And all of this hasn't been random. It's been orchestrated. It's been timed perfectly. It's been guided by angels who have been waiting for both of you to reach this exact frequency, this exact level of consciousness, so that when you come together, it won't just be a relationship. It will be a sacred union, a divine partnership, a love that reflects heaven itself. The angels are showing me something profound right now. They're showing me that this person has been having conversations with God about you. Deep, vulnerable, honest conversations where they've been asking for guidance, for clarity, for courage. They've been praying about whether the timing is right. They've been asking the universe for signs to confirm what their heart already knows. And do you want to know what's beautiful? Every single time they've asked, they've received an answer. Every time they've doubted, they've been shown a sign. Your name has appeared in unexpected places. Songs that remind them of you have played at divine moments. They've seen repeating numbers right after thinking about their future with you. They've had dreams where they're standing at an altar with you, where they're building a life with you, where they're growing old with you. And these aren't just dreams. These are visions. These are glimpses into the future that heaven is preparing for both of you. This person is not just thinking about asking you to marry them. They're planning it. They're preparing for it. They're working through their own fears and doubts and insecurities because they know deep in their bones that you are worth it, that this love is worth it, that the life you'll build together is worth every risk, every leap of faith, every vulnerable moment it takes to get down on one knee and offer you their heart forever. But here's where the message gets even more powerful, and this is what heaven really wants you to hear. While all of this is happening in the physical realm, there's something even more extraordinary unfolding in the spiritual realm. God isn't just preparing a proposal for you. God is preparing a blessing so enormous, so all-encompassing, so magnificently beyond what you've been praying for that when it arrives, You won't just be getting a partner. You'll be stepping into a completely new chapter of your life. A chapter where everything you've been working towards suddenly makes sense. Where all the pieces you've been gathering suddenly form a picture more beautiful than anything you could have imagined. Where the love you receive doesn't just fill your heart, but overflows into every area of your existence. Heaven is preparing abundance for you, not just in love, but in every dimension of your life. Financial blessings that you didn't see coming. Career opportunities that align with your soul's purpose. Healing in family relationships that have been strained. Clarity about your life's mission that has felt cloudy. Peace in areas where you've been experiencing chaos. Joy that bubbles up from a well so deep inside you that it becomes contagious to everyone around you. This proposal that's coming isn't just about saying yes to a person. It's about saying yes to the life that God has been preparing for you. It's about stepping through a doorway that leads to everything you've been becoming ready for. It's about claiming the blessing that has your name written on it in heaven's book. Now, I know some of you might be thinking, but how do I know this is really for me? How do I know this isn't just a beautiful message that applies to everyone, but doesn't actually apply to my specific situation? Let me share with you the signs that heaven has given me to pass on to you. The confirmations that this message is meant for your ears, for your heart, for your life right now. If you've been seeing the numbers 1111 or 222 or 333 repeatedly over the past few weeks or months, that's your first sign. These are angel numbers, and they're specifically connected to divine partnerships and sacred unions. The angels use these numbers to get your attention, to remind you that you're on the right path, that what you've been praying for is not only heard, but is being answered. If you've been feeling an unusual sense of peace lately, even though nothing in your external circumstances has necessarily changed, that's your second sign. This peace is what the Bible calls the peace that surpasses all understanding. It's the peace that settles over you when heaven is working on something in the background, when angels are arranging circumstances, when God is orchestrating details that will soon come to light. This peace is your spirit's way of knowing that something good is coming, even before your mind can comprehend what it is. If you've been experiencing vivid dreams, especially dreams about weddings, proposals, or seeing yourself happy with someone whose face you might not be able to fully see in the dream, that's your third sign. Dreams are one of the primary ways that heaven communicates with us, because when we're sleeping, our logical mind isn't in the way. Our spirit is free to receive messages, visions, and downloads directly from the divine source. These dreams aren't random. They're prophetic. They're showing you what's being prepared for you in the realm of spirit before it manifests in the realm of matter. If you felt a sudden urge to work on yourself, to heal old wounds, to let go of past relationships, to forgive people who hurt you, to invest in your personal growth and spiritual development, that's your fourth sign. This urge isn't coming from you alone. It's heaven preparing you. It's God making sure that when this blessing arrives, you're ready to receive it fully. You're healed enough to recognize it. You're whole enough to appreciate it. You're mature enough to nurture it. Because here's a truth that many people don't understand. The blessing you're praying for requires a version of you that doesn't exist yet. And that's why you've been going through everything you've been going through. Not as punishment, but as preparation. Not as a delay, but as development. Not as a denial, but as a divine setup for something so much better than what you originally asked for. If you've been feeling a pull to spend more time alone lately, to go inward, to journal, to pray, to meditate, to simply be still, that's your fifth sign. This isn't isolation. This is incubation. This is you in the cocoon before you emerge as the butterfly. This is you in the wilderness before you step into the promised land. This is the quiet before the beautiful storm of blessings that's about to sweep through your life. And finally, if you're watching this video right now, if these words found their way to you through the infinite content available on the internet, through all the videos you could be watching right now, that itself is a sign, because nothing is random. Your eyes are on these words because your spirit called them forth. Your heart needed to hear this message because heaven has something specific to tell you. You're here because you're ready. Ready to receive, ready to believe, ready to step into everything that's been prepared for you. And if you're feeling that truth settling into your bones right now, I want you to do something. I want you to write the word ready in the comments below. Not for me, not for anyone else, but as a declaration to the universe. as a confirmation to heaven, as an agreement with the angels who have been working on your behalf. Right, ready, and watch how the energy in your life begins to shift in response to your faith. Now, let me tell you about the timing of all this, because I know timing is something that weighs heavy on many hearts. You might be wondering when. When will this happen? When will he ask? When will she say yes? When will this beautiful future that heaven keeps showing me finally arrive in my present reality? And here's what the angels want you to understand about divine timing. There's a difference between human timing and divine timing. Human timing is about calendars and clocks and dates that our minds can grasp and control. Divine timing is about readiness and alignment and the mysterious ways that God coordinates a million details that we can't even see. Think about it this way. A farmer doesn't plant a seed today and expect a harvest tomorrow. There's a season for planting. There's a season for watering. There's a season for growth that happens underground where no one can see it. There's a season for the first shoots to break through the soil. There's a season for the plant to mature. And then, finally, there's a season for harvest. And you cannot rush harvest. You cannot force a seed to grow faster than its nature intends. You cannot manipulate the process without damaging the fruit. But here's what you can do. You can trust the process. You can water what you planted with your faith. You can pull the weeds of doubt. You can protect your garden from the negative voices that try to convince you nothing is growing. You can tend to the soil of your soul. And you can know with absolute certainty that harvest is coming. It's not a matter of if. It's a matter of when. And the when is always exactly when it's supposed to be. The angels are showing me that for many of you watching this, the timing is sooner than you think. In fact, it's so close that you've been feeling it. You've been sensing it. You've been experiencing that anticipatory excitement that bubbles up in your chest for reasons you can't quite articulate. This could happen within weeks. For some of you, it could happen within days. For a select few of you, it could happen today. Yes, today. Because the person who's been preparing to ask you, the person whose heart God has been working on, the person who's been gathering their courage and planning this moment, they're ready now. They've received their final confirmation. They've made their decision. They've purchased the ring, or they're about to. They've chosen the place. They've rehearsed the words. They've prayed one final prayer. And they're waiting for the perfect moment. The moment when your eyes meet theirs and they see that spark. The moment when the sunset is just right or the stars are perfectly aligned. The moment when the song playing in the background happens to be the one that means something to both of you. The moment when everything just feels right in a way that transcends explanation. And that moment is coming. It's approaching like a wave that's been building far out in the ocean, and soon it will crest and wash over both of you in the most beautiful, overwhelming, joy-filled way. But while we're talking about this proposal, I need to share with you the part of this message that might surprise you the most. Because yes, the proposal is coming. Yes, this person is going to ask you to be there forever. Yes, you're going to have that moment that takes your breath away and makes your heart soar. But God wants you to know that the proposal is actually the smallest part of what heaven is preparing for you. Let me explain what I mean. When you think about a proposal, you probably think about the ring, the question, the moment, the yes, the celebration, the excitement. And all of that is beautiful and significant and worth cherishing. But heaven isn't just preparing a moment for you. Heaven is preparing a lifetime. A love that doesn't just start strong, but stays strong. A partnership that doesn't just feel good in the beginning, but deepens and matures and becomes more beautiful with each passing year. A union that doesn't just survive the storms of life, but actually grows stronger because of them. God is preparing a marriage for you that will be a testimony, a living, breathing example of what divine love looks like when it's planted in human soil. A relationship that other people will look at and find hope for their own lives. A bond that will produce fruit not just for the two of you, but for your families, your communities, your future children, and even generations you'll never meet. Heaven is preparing prosperity for you that goes beyond just financial increase, though there will be financial blessings too. This is prosperity of the soul, abundance and joy, wealth and peace, richness and purpose, resources that flow into your life not so you can hoard them, but so you can be a conduit of blessing to others. You're going to look back on your life one day and see how this moment, this proposal, This decision to say yes was actually the turning point, the hinge upon which everything swung. The moment when your life split into before and after. Before this love and after this love. Before this blessing and after this blessing. Before you knew what God could do and after you witnessed it with your own eyes. And here's something else that heaven wants you to understand. You deserve this. I know you might have moments of doubt. I know you might have voices in your head that whisper you're not good enough, or you haven't done enough, or you're not worthy of this kind of love. But those voices are lies. Those voices are not from heaven. Those voices are from the enemy who doesn't want you to step into your blessing, because he knows that when you do, you'll become unstoppable. You'll become a force for good in this world. You'll become a beacon of light that helps others find their way. The truth is that you've been preparing for this your entire life. Every heartbreak taught you what real love isn't so you could recognize it when it finally arrived. Every disappointment strengthened your faith so you could trust God even when you couldn't see the full picture. Every lonely night increased your capacity to appreciate companionship when it came in its divine form. Every tear you cried watered the seeds of the future you're about to step into. You didn't waste your time. You didn't miss your chance. You weren't forgotten. You were being prepared. And now, in this season, in this moment, all of that preparation is about to pay off in ways that will leave you in awe of how faithful God has been, even when you couldn't feel it, even when you couldn't see it, even when you doubted it. Let me paint you a picture of what's about to unfold, because heaven is giving me specifics that some of you need to hear. This person who is going to propose to you, they're going to do it in a way that's meaningful. They're not going to just go through the motions or do what everyone else does. They're going to put thought into it. They're going to incorporate things that matter to you. They might take you back to the place where you first met or first knew there was something special between you. They might plan it around a date that has significance to your relationship. They might involve people you love, your family, your friends, people who have been praying for you and cheering for you and believing that this day would come. Or they might choose a moment of perfect intimacy, just the two of you, where nothing exists except your hearts and this question, and a yes that's been living in your soul before they even ask. However it happens, it's going to be perfect because heaven is directing it. The angels are orchestrating it. And divine love is the foundation of it. You're going to feel it in your body when it happens. You might shake. You might cry. You might laugh. You might feel like your heart is going to burst right out of your chest. You might feel like time stops and speeds up simultaneously. You might feel like you're watching it happen to you while also being fully present in it. You might feel a warmth spread through you that starts in your heart and radiates out to every cell of your being. And in that moment, you'll know that this is what you've been waiting for. You'll know that every prayer has been heard. You'll know that God is real and present and working in your life in ways more intimate and personal than you ever imagined possible. After you say yes, and you will say yes because your spirit already knows this is right. After the initial rush of joy and excitement, there's going to be another layer to this experience. You're going to start seeing things fall into place that you didn't even know were out of place. Opportunities are going to open up. Doors that were closed are going to swing wide. People who can help you on your journey are going to appear seemingly out of nowhere. Resources you need are going to become available exactly when you need them. And you're going to realize that this isn't just about you getting married. This is about you stepping into a new level of your destiny. A level you couldn't access alone. A level that required this partnership. A level that God has been preparing for both of you together so that you could accomplish things that neither of you could accomplish separately. This union isn't just for your happiness, though you will be happy. This union isn't just for your fulfillment, though you will be fulfilled. This union is for a purpose, a divine assignment, a mission that your souls agreed to before you were even born. And now, in this earthly realm, in these human bodies, with these beating hearts, you're about to remember that agreement and begin walking out in real time. Some of you are going to build businesses together that will create jobs and serve communities and generate wealth that you'll use to fund kingdom purposes. Some of you are going to have children together who will grow up to be world changers, innovators, healers, teachers, leaders in their own right. Some of you are going to create art together, music, books, content that touches millions of lives and points people back to divine truth. Some of you are going to serve together in ministry, in nonprofit work, in causes that matter deeply to both your hearts. And some of you are going to do the quiet, sacred work of building a home so filled with love and peace and joy that everyone who enters it feels like they've stepped into a little piece of heaven on earth. Whatever your specific purpose is, whatever your unique assignment looks like, this proposal is the beginning of it. This yes is the key that unlocks it. This commitment is the foundation upon which it will be built. And heaven is backing it. Angels are supporting it. God is blessing it. So when doubt tries to creep in, and it will try, because doubt always shows up when blessings are about to manifest, I want you to come back to this message. I want you to remember what you felt in your spirit when you heard these words. I want you to recall the knowing that settled into your bones. I want you to hold on to the truth that what God has ordained, no person can stop. What heaven has decreed, earth must receive. What has been written in the stars will be lived out in your life. Now, before we continue, I want to invite you to do something. If you're feeling the weight of this message, if tears are streaming down your face, if your heart is pounding, if you're feeling seen and known and loved in a way that reaches beyond the screen and into the very core of who you are, leave a comment below. Write whatever is on your heart. Share what you're feeling. Release it into the atmosphere. Because when you give voice to your faith, when you speak out your agreement with what heaven is doing, you're actually activating it in an even more powerful way. Your words have creative power. Your declarations matter. Your testimony strengthens not just your own faith, but the faith of every person who reads it. And let's talk about what happens after proposal, because this is where the real journey begins. Many people think the proposal is a destination, but it's actually just the beginning of the adventure. After you say yes, after the ring is on your finger, after the initial celebrations die down, you're going to enter into a season of preparation for the marriage itself. And this season is going to be sacred. God is going to use this engagement period to do deep work in both of you. You're going to learn things about each other that you didn't know. You're going to have conversations that challenge you and grow you. You're going to make decisions together about your future that require compromise and communication and commitment. You're going to plan a wedding, yes, but more importantly, you're going to prepare for a marriage. And there's a significant difference between the two. A wedding is a day. A marriage is a lifetime. A wedding is about flowers and dresses and cake and guests. A marriage is about covenant and commitment and choosing each other every single day. A wedding costs money. A marriage costs everything and gives back infinitely more than you invest. And God wants you to know that while He's blessing the wedding, He's much more concerned with the marriage. He's going to send you resources for both. He's going to provide for the celebration in ways that might surprise you. Unexpected financial gifts. Generous offers from people who want to bless you. Things falling into place easier than they should. But even more than that, He's going to give you the tools you need for a strong marriage. He's going to send you wisdom through mentors and counselors. He's going to teach you through His Word and His Spirit. He's going to show you how to love each other the way He loves you, unconditionally, sacrificially, eternally. There's something else I need to tell you that the angels are highlighting right now. During this engagement season, you might face some opposition. Not everyone is going to be happy about your blessing. Some people might question your choice. Some might express concerns that aren't rooted in genuine care, but in jealousy or their own unhealed wounds. Some might try to plant seeds of doubt. Some might remind you of past failures, as if your past has any bearing on your divine future. And I need you to hear this clearly. Protect your peace. Protect your joy. Protect this blessing that God is giving you. You don't owe anyone explanations. You don't need everyone's approval. You don't have to convince people who are determined to misunderstand. What you need to do is stay connected to the source of this blessing. Keep praying. Keep seeking God's guidance. Keep listening to the still small voice within you that knows truth from deception. Keep surrounding yourself with people who celebrate you, not just tolerate you. Keep focusing on building your foundation, not defending your choices to people who have no authority to judge them. Because here's what I know with absolute certainty. What God has joined together, no man can put asunder. What heaven has ordained, earth must honor. What the angels have been orchestrating, demons cannot destroy. Your love is protected by divine forces that are infinitely more powerful than any opposition you might face. And every attack that comes against it will only serve to make it stronger, to prove its authenticity, to refine it like gold in fire until it shines so bright that even the doubters have to acknowledge that God is in it. Now, let me speak to those of you who might be in a specific situation. Maybe you're hearing this message and thinking, but I'm not in a relationship right now. I'm single. I don't even know who this person is that's supposedly going to propose to me. If that's you, hear me clearly. This message is especially for you, because what heaven is showing me is that for some of you, the person who is going to propose hasn't even entered your life yet in a romantic capacity. They might be someone you already know as a friend, a colleague, an acquaintance who is about to see you in a completely different light. Or they might be someone you haven't met yet, someone who is about to walk into your life in the most unexpected, divinely orchestrated way. And when you meet, you're both going to know, not in a superficial way, but in a deep soul recognition way. Your spirits are going to recognize each other, even if your minds need a minute to catch up. You're going to feel like you've known them forever, even though you just met. Conversations are going to flow effortlessly. Silences are going to feel comfortable. And there's going to be this sense that everything in your life has been leading you to this person and this moment. For those of you in this category, your part is to stay open. Don't close your heart because past experiences hurt you. Don't shut down because you're tired of hoping. Don't convince yourself that it's too late or you're too old or you've missed your window. Because heaven doesn't operate on your timeline, and the blessings of God aren't subject to human limitations. Stay open, stay expectant, stay ready, because when divine love shows up, it doesn't ask for permission. It just arrives in all its glory and transforms everything it touches. There are also some of you who are in relationships right now, and you've been wondering if this person is the one. You've been praying for clarity. You've been asking God for confirmation. You've been watching for signs. And this message is your confirmation. This is your sign. This is heaven saying, yes, this is the one. And yes, it's going to happen. And yes, everything you've been sensing in your spirit is accurate. Your partner has been having their own conversations with God. They've been wrestling with their own fears and working through their own doubts. They've been making sure they're ready to be the spouse you deserve. They've been preparing financially, emotionally, spiritually. And they're almost there. They're almost ready to take that leap. And when they do, it's going to be more beautiful than you've been imagining. So be patient just a little longer. Keep loving them where they are while also holding space for where you're both going. Keep praying for them and for your future together. Keep trusting that what God started, He will complete. And know that every day that passes isn't a delay. It's development. It's both of you becoming more of who you need to be to sustain the level of love and partnership that you're about to experience. And then there are those of you who might be in more complicated situations. Maybe you're in an on-again, off-again relationship. Maybe you broke up and you're wondering if there's still a future. Maybe there's been hurt, betrayal, distance, silence. And you're afraid to hope that this message could apply to you. I want to speak directly to your heart right now. God specializes in resurrection. He takes dead things and breathes life back into them. He takes broken things and makes them stronger at the broken places. He takes impossible situations and demonstrates that nothing is impossible for Him. If the relationship you're thinking about is meant to be, if that person is your divine partner, then no amount of past pain can stop what heaven has ordained. But here's the key. Both of you have to be willing to do the work. Both of you have to be willing to heal. Both of you have to be willing to forgive and to change and to grow. Both of you have to want the relationship more than you want to be right, or to hold on to hurt, or to punish each other for past mistakes. And if you're both willing, if you're both ready to lay down your pride and your pain at the altar and say, God, we need you to restore this. We need you to heal this. We need you to show us how to love each other the way you love us. Then watch what happens. Watch how the same relationship that felt dead suddenly has a pulse again. Watch how the same person you couldn't communicate with suddenly speaks your language. Watch how the same love that felt impossible suddenly feels inevitable. Because divine intervention changes everything. God's healing power reaches into the deepest wounds. And when heaven decides to restore something, it doesn't just go back to how it was before. It becomes better, stronger, more beautiful than it ever was. So if you're in this category, here's your assignment. Surrender it. Stop trying to force it or fix it or figure out on your own. Give it completely to God and trust Him to either restore it or release you from it. Trust Him to either bring that person back transformed or to bring someone new who is an even better match for the person you become. Either way, you win. Either way, you get your blessing. Either way, you end up exactly where you're supposed to be. Let's talk about the practical side of this for a moment, because while we're talking about spiritual things, this is going to manifest in physical reality. You might be wondering what you should do while you're waiting. How should you prepare? What actions should you take? First, work on yourself. Not because you're broken or deficient, but because you're about to step into a role that requires the best version of you. Invest in your healing. Go to therapy if you need it. Read books that expand your mind and strengthen your spirit. Develop new skills. Pursue your passions. Build your own life so fully that when this person enters it, they're adding to something already beautiful rather than filling an empty space. Second, get your practical affairs in order. Look at your finances and start making wise decisions. Create a budget. Pay off debt if you can. Start saving, not out of fear or lack, but out of stewardship and wisdom. Because when this blessing comes, you want to be able to receive it fully without unnecessary stress or burden. Third, create space in your life. This might sound strange, but make room for this person before they arrive. Maybe that means ending situationships that are going nowhere. Maybe it means stopping patterns of behavior that don't serve your highest good. Maybe it means cleaning out your physical space, decluttering your home, preparing your environment for the new season you're entering. Fourth, stay connected to your spiritual source. Don't let your relationship with God become all about asking for this blessing. Worship Him because He's worthy. Seek Him because He's good. Love Him because He first loved you. When your spiritual life is strong and rooted in something deeper than your desires, you're able to receive blessings without making them into idols. And fifth, keep your vision clear. Journal about the kind of marriage you want. Write down the qualities you're praying for in a spouse. Describe the kind of home you want to build together. Paint a picture of your future with your words and your prayers and your faith. Not to manipulate God or to put Him in a box, but to align yourself with His will and prepare your heart to recognize His answers when they come. Here's something beautiful that I need to share with you. Right now, while you're listening to this message, angels are in a room with you. You might not see them with your physical eyes, but they're there. They've been assigned to you. They've been working on your behalf. And they're celebrating because they know what's coming. They've seen the future that you're walking into. They've witnessed the joy that's about to flood your life. They've watched the preparations that have been made in the heavenly realms, and they're excited for you to experience it. These angels have been protecting you from relationships that would have harmed you. They've been guiding you away from paths that look good but would have led you astray. They've been orchestrating divine appointments and holy connections. They've been whispering to your spirit in the quiet moments, reminding you to hold on, to keep believing, to trust that what God promised He will perform. And now, in this season, their work is reaching its culmination. The stage is set. The actors are in place. The script has been written by the divine author, and the curtain is about to rise on the most beautiful act of your life story. Your job isn't to direct it or control it or figure it all out. Your job is to show up, to stay ready, to keep your heart open, and to trust that the director of the production knows exactly what he's doing. I also want to address something that might be on some of your hearts. What if you're afraid? What if the thought of someone proposing to you brings up fear instead of excitement? Maybe you're afraid of losing yourself in a relationship. Maybe you're afraid of being hurt again. Maybe you're afraid of making the wrong choice. Maybe you're afraid that you're not ready or that you won't be a good spouse. If any of those fears are real for you, I want you to know that fear is normal. It's a human response to stepping into the unknown. But fear is not your guide. Love is your guide. And perfect love casts out all fear. God isn't calling you to a life of fear. He's calling you to a life of faith. And faith doesn't mean you never feel afraid. It means you feel the fear and you move forward anyway because you trust that the one who is calling you forward is faithful and good and will never lead you somewhere He won't sustain you. Your fear is actually evidence that something significant is about to happen. We don't fear insignificant things. We fear things that matter, things that have potential to change us, things that require us to grow beyond our current capacity. So if you're afraid, see it as confirmation that what's coming is big. It's important. It's worth being afraid of and doing anyway. And here's what else you need to know. You won't be doing this alone. When God calls you to marriage, He also equips you for marriage. He gives you the grace, the wisdom, the strength, the patience, the love, and every other quality you need to thrive in it. You're not entering this based on your own abilities. You're entering this held by divine hands, supported by heavenly resources, guided by perfect wisdom. And when you stumble, because you will stumble because you're human, there's grace for that. There's forgiveness for that. There's mercy and restoration and the opportunity to try again and do better. This isn't about perfection. This is about partnership with the divine and with your human beloved. And together, all three of you will create something that glorifies God and blesses the world. Now, as we're approaching the end of this message, I want to give you something to hold on to. A promise, a truth, a declaration that you can speak over your life whenever doubt tries to creep in. Say this with me, out loud if you can. What God has promised me is already done. The blessing I've been praying for is already released from heaven. The love I've been waiting for is.